Engaging, enlightening, informative. This is WLOX News This Week.
Hi, I'm Dave Elliott. Thanks so much for joining me today. Well, this week marked the 1-month anniversary since a tornado ripped through Moss Point. The city working to clean up the destruction, to rebuild, to get on the road to recovery. Here with an update on recovery efforts, Moss Point Mayor Billy Knight. Mayor, God bless you, and thanks for being with us today.
Thank you, Dave.
How are you doing personally, and what would be your read on the general psyche of the folks at Moss Point right now?
Well, thanks for asking, Dave. I'm doing well, and to be expected. You know, we got a lot of challenges there. We had challenges before the tornado, but just add a little bit more. But, you know, we take one day at a time. I think the people at Moss Point are resilient, and they're coming back. They're still helping each other. And, you know, I'm asking to be patient because this is a kind of a marathon. It's going to take us a while to get out from under it. We're still hoping for the disaster declaration.
Well, wait, you can't still be hoping for that.
I am, yes, indeed.
What recourse could possibly occur where FEMA would do a turnaround on that assessment?
Well, you know, the governor got permission to include 14 other counties in this disaster. And once they put those counties in it, and we think the numbers will get where they ought to be. I'm hopeful that that happened.
On its own, though, Moss Point did not meet that threshold.
We did not.
But you've heard, and this is news to me, that the governor has decided to cluster 14 counties and include that in an overreaching federal disaster request?
That's right. They got permission to include this in the whole, as if they was in the sole system of that tornado. And by that, if we add those counties in, then we think that we'll get the numbers where they ought to be.
You know, I heard it
now, and they, you know, they asked me to give them a week or two before they can decide on that. But, you know, it's not over yet. But it's not guaranteed either, Dave.
It was suggested by some that the state didn't do enough to get Moss Point that declaration, that designation. That's not true because it's a FEMA formula. Do you feel the state has done everything it can, should do? I know you have to be diplomatic.
Yeah, well, no, it's the fact. I mean, you know, it's not. I'm not being diplomat. We can't be partisan about it. It's that the governor promised that he was going to do everything he can to make this work. You know, the numbers are what they are. You know, it's based on the damage assessment. You know, MEMA came in and FEMA came in and did the assessment. And the numbers didn't reach the threshold, that 5.2 million that it was supposed to. So, you know, people can validate those things. You know how many houses were damaged and how many businesses were damaged, and if you exaggerate that, somebody can come and check that, you know. So it's not like you can make these numbers up. The numbers are what they are. Now, that's a national problem because this formula has been set on a national level to say
if a storm hits the East Coast, if flooding hits the Midwest, if a hurricane hits the Gulf Coast, or a tornado hits Moss Point, FEMA goes by that same formula.
It's a national thing.
Okay, so, but there has been some assistance. I think, what is it, $2 million has been set aside for debris pickup?
Yeah, well, that was the board action. We had to because it's our responsibility as a city to clean the city up. And I told the board and the people of Moss Point that we're taking a chance by doing that, thinking that we might get reimbursed, because we may not. But regardless of whether we get reimbursed or not from MEMA, you know, the city has to be cleaned up. So it's the responsibility of the city leadership to do that. So we didn't want the trash and debris hanging around too long. So the board decided to, you know, get a note to do that, and that was $2 million. To make sure our city is clean. And
well, I mean, that's the right decision. You have to get the debris picked up. So how far along are you in that process? And when you ask people to be patient, are you finding that that's easier said than done with some folks? It
is because if my house is destroyed, you know, it's hard for me to be patient about that. And I understand that, Dave. My heart goes out for those people. All I can do is work every day to help them get back whole as possible. We're about 45% in as far as picking up the debris. There's about 60,000 cubic yards that was estimated that we pick up. We think the number might be higher than that once we get in the backyards and all over to find out what's really there. But the estimate was 60,000 square cubic yards. That's why 60,000 cubic yards. That's why we had to do the note to start cleaning that up. So
So there's this other program, and I think it's a MEMA program, correct me if I'm wrong, where there will be vouchers that will be available to people who need to repair their homes, but the money won't go to the homeowner, it will go to the vendor. We'll just say Lowe's or Home Depot, right?
Right, that's right. It's a DART called DART, Disaster Assistant
And that comes
Repair.
from MEMA?
Come from MEMA.
Okay.
And Disaster Assistant Repair Program. $250,000, we'll draw that down $50,000 at a time. And Catholic Charities will do the case management part to, you interview a family and determine what their needs are, the level of their need, and United Way will manage the funding of that, and that check will be cut for material only. So if a family needs material to help rebuild their home, that will be the process they will go through.
Are you satisfied, because we all know, and we learned this lesson from Katrina and every storm, and again we're back to the patience issue. So you hear about this program, you go apply, you're saying, oh my goodness, I'm made to jump through hoops, I have to go online, I have to fill out this, I have to fill out that, nothing's happening. Has it been streamlined a little bit, this program?
Yeah, I think so, and Catholic Charities helping us do that. It's just unfortunate, but it is a process with all these things that you have to go through. That's why we are asking people to be patient, because you have to have the document. Everything is about documentation. If a person or family need help, we need to be able to document that they need that help. To get the material that they need, we have to have documentation that that material, what it costs, where you're getting it from, those kind of things. So we want our people to know that you got to come in with enough documentation to prove that you need the help you say you need. If you got photos, if you got anything that you can verify the loss that you have, that would all be helpful, and it will make the process go much smoother. But they're going to have to document. We got to document to be able to justify the money.
Moss Point schools, Moss Point High School took quite a hit. Moss Point School District on this new modified schedule, so kids returned to school this past week already, the end of July, which is amazing to me, but that's a topic for another day, that kids go back to school so early.
That's right, yeah.
But so what's happening over at the high school?
They're excited about it. They started yesterday, I believe, was their first day or day before, and the teachers are excited, the superintendent is excited about it. They think it's going to work. The superintendent tell me that they got an ABC plan. They did get a lot of damage, but they got it to a point that they could have school. They decided to go on with their plan. So we feel good about it. The faculty is excited about it. What's going to happen with this, that's what they're excited about, because they think it's going to be a plus for the process of educating our kids.
Well, good luck to you, Mayor. We appreciate you being accessible to us throughout this trauma, and everybody on the coast is hoping and praying that things move forward with the beautiful city of Moss Point. Thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you, Dave, for having us.